Hello, my name is Derek from Tomcat Gas Training and welcome to episode 2 of Gas Engineer Does, where I do things which are well out of my comfort zone and absolutely nothing to do with gas. So today what I'm going to be doing is reviewing this, which is the VANTRUE dashcam. This is the N2 Pro, where I'm going to be unboxing the little beauty. I'm going to be looking at it up close and then I'm going to be showing you how to install it. So, the gas engineer's way. So let's have a look at that now. So there's the box close up. Let's get this box open. So on the top here you can see there is some actual some safety tabs, so security tabs, which I'm trying to break with my nail, which are really hard. Okay, so that's open. Let's get rid of this polythene from the whole box. So we're now open, and then let's slide the box out. So that's got rid of the outer box. This is the inner box. Let's see what this is when we open it up. Okay, so you can see on the top we've got a quick start guide. We've also got a share booklet, whatever that is. Got that as well. And we've got the manufacturer's instructions. So you can see that as well. And then, whoa, finally we're onto the unit. Okay, let's get rid of the box for a sec. Let's have a look at this unit closely. Ooh, so there's the screen. And this is the inside camera. There's the control buttons. And there's the camera which would be facing the road. Okay, so that's the unit itself. See what else is in the box. So in this bag we have the charger, which goes into your 12 volts or your cigarette holder. So I believe this is 10 meters long, so this is what we're going to be running to power it. And then this is the sucker unit, which goes onto the window, and then this, so that slides onto there, so we'll be doing that. And then this is the cable which goes from the unit to the actual computer. So that's your USB cable. So we've got a USB cable, we've got a sucker, we've got the power lead, and we've got the unit itself. So let's have a look at this in more detail and get ready for installing it. Now, this VANTRUE N2 Pro dashcam is one of the few dashcams on the market that has HD video on both its front facing and its rear facing cameras. So I believe they were actually the first ones to do this. Now the front or the road camera has an OV4689 sensor and can record at 2560 by 1440p at 30 frames per second, or 1920 by 1080p at 60 frames per second when you're only using this camera alone. But when you're using both the interior and the exterior camera, it's done at 1080p. Now, the interior camera, this one, has a Sony Exmor IMX323 sensor and in 1920 by 1080p at 30 frames per second. Both cameras have wide angle lenses. This interior camera is 140 degree angle, where the exterior camera is 170 degree angle, but the interior one is adjustable to give you a better actual angle inside the cabin. So no matter where you have to put the camera in the windscreen, you can adjust this camera to give you a better image. Now, both front and rear cameras can record audio, but you can turn this audio on or off if you wish. The camera claims to work in temperatures of -20 degrees centigrade to 70 degrees centigrade, so that's perfect for use in the UK. There is also an optional GPS mount which clips onto here, so you can track your route, your location and your speed as you're going along. But I do believe, well, the mount is about an extra 30-40 quid, I think. So when you've already spent nearly 150 quid on it, that's a bit of an expense. So if you have an external batteries pack, or you hardwire this, again you can buy a hardwired kit from VANTRUE. You can put the camera in 24-hour parking mode, but only if it's hardwired in or you have a separate battery. And that will protect your vehicle for long periods of time when you're not in it. So for me, being a gas engineer and having a truck with my tools in the back, I think it probably would be a good idea to actually get this hardwired in, so it would record people trying to get in the truck front and rear. So that would be a very, very good option. So the unit also comes with an 18-month warranty, and the cameras also come with an infrared light. So on the back side here, this is the infrared light. So it comes with an infrared night vision. So this is only on the interior camera, so you actually can record in night and still get really good quality pictures. So we're going to be trying that out, recording at the night time. Now if we look on the side here, this little dust cover here is where everything connects into. It's a right little faff to get that out, to be fair. So our micro SD card, our USB cable, our mini HDMI cable, that's where you would put the slot, and you can see that's covered over there, but the USB cable is still left open. On the top here is where the mount goes. Now this is how the mount, so this is your windscreen sucker that goes on there, and your power cable also goes into here. So it would slide into the unit like that and click in. And if you wanted to take it out, you press this little tab and pull it forward. So this stays in position on the windscreen, and this can be taken inside for security reasons. But if you're using this to protect your car, obviously on a car park or outside your house, then you won't be removing it. So that's how easy it is to actually detach the unit from this little sucker. So when we install it, you'll see that. Now on the sucker, you will see that this is where our power cord goes into. So this will stay in. So once we've wired this in, this will stay in position. Now if you have two cars, but you only want one dash cam, you could buy two of these, and you could just keep swapping this into car by car. So the N2 screen is only, tiny little thing, 1.5 inches TFT LCD display. So you can review all your footage from the unit. So when we get this powered up, we will have a look at that. Now the manufacturer does say in the instructions to power it up for 2 hours beforehand, before you actually fit it. So the N2 does not have Wi-Fi connection or an app. Which is a bit of a shame really. This also means there's no cloud service. So this is going to be a bit of a pain to get footage off this unit. But with the little SD card, the micro SD card, which goes in that slot there like we showed. Okay, so you would have to take that out and then put it into your laptop to be able to recover the actual footage. So like I say, the footage is recorded on this micro SD card. The SD card can only be 16 to 24 gigabytes. Okay, but it doesn't come with it. So you've had to buy it separately, which has cost me a tenner. Okay, so let's get this installed and let's see how good a quality it is for the £139.98 I've paid for it. And we'll have a look at the quality, so let's get on with that now. Now, before we actually install it, let's get this micro SD card fitted. So here is our micro SD card, and you can see it's a 64 gigabyte, yet all our paperwork says it won't work. So it has to be formatted, which I've actually already done. So we need to put it into this little slot here, which will just click in. It says, and then we can put the little flap back. This is the screen, okay? these are the buttons we're going to be using. So this is our on off button, and then these are our navigation arrows, and this is our menu. Now on the side here we've got an OK button, and we've also got this P button, which I'll explain in a minute. So the first thing is, let's turn it on. So I'm going to press and hold this button, and you can now see it's on, and you can now see the camera is pointing. This one's the internal camera, so you'll just be able to see me twist it down and around. Okay, and then this is the one looking at the bench. I've put my hand underneath, you can see her. Okay, now we want to go into the menu, so what we do is we're pressing this M button, and it's now going into the record setup. Okay, so what we can do now is I can press OK, and it's now saying we've got the resolution, so we can use these two arrows, so you can see they're marked at the top but they're actually here. So if I press that down to the resolution, press OK, you now see the camera is set for the front and rear cameras at 1920 at 1080p at 30 frames per second. So that's the one we want, so we'll press OK. So next one down is loop recordings. That's set at 3 minutes in the factory. You could set it 1, 5 or off. Press OK. Now we've got the G-Shock sensor. So we press OK, and it's been come out of the factory at medium. So you could either do high or low, it depends on where you are. So we'll have to look at that once it's installed. Press OK. Audio recording is off, but we want to record audio, so we can go on to on. Okay, so down to the next one, parking mode. Well, that should be off because we haven't got the hardwired kit or the spare battery, so that's on off, so that's okay. Front camera exposure is at 0. Now again, depending on where we are will depend on what we set this up. So this is what it's come out of the factory, so you can move it up and down. So I guess the inside camera exposure will be the same. Yep, 0, press OK. Now number plate, I have changed this one. Now this one, if you are a taxi driver or you're a taxi firm or you're a firm with lots of the different vehicles, you can designate this dash cam to one vehicle. So if we go into it, I've put Tomcat, the company name, on there. So we can use the M button to go back, but it's dead easy to change. Just press OK and it goes on to the next one, and so on and so on. So we can change the A and back to A again. So that's dead easy, and if you want to come out, just press M and then down again. Now the stamp is actually the manufacturer's stamp. So if we go on to that, you can now see it saying date, time and stamp. Then we've got logo, which is again their logo, your number stamp. So these again are dead easy to add or take away. So if you just press OK, it'll come on, or you press OK again and it'll go off. And again, M to come out of there. Rotate display is on off. I don't actually know, I'll have to look in the book for that, what the rotate display is, but we'll see. M again to back. Then we've got time lapse, which again is set on off. Again, I'll have to read up on that and see what it is. Power off display, I guess will be how long it'll be off once we turn the ignition off. And that's on, so again we'll have to read up on all these because I haven't read up on them yet. So that's that one. We've gone through that menu. We can go through the next one, which is our system setup. Again, press OK. Again, down to language, should be English. Again, back to the M. Now the format will format the SD card, which I've already done. And if I try to format it again, I've done a little video, so to check it, make sure it works. So we can cancel that, otherwise it will format it. Again, I've set the date and the time and everything in there, so you can see that's done. So again, M to back out of that. Auto LCD off. I haven't got a clue what that is, but then it goes off in 3 minutes. Device sound. You can hear it's on because you can hear it clicking. Non-used auto power off. Again, I suppose I should have read the book, but there you go, it's 3 minutes. Frequency, now I do know about this, the frequency. So the UK is 50 Hertz hour power, and I believe in Canada and America it's 60 Hertz. So for UK you'll be setting it to 50. It came factory set at 60 Hertz. Okay, so system info is basically what it comes sat with. We won't be changing that. And then default settings, we won't be going back to the factory settings. So come out of that setting, GPS one. Now we haven't got a GPS, so this will be set to off, which it is. Back with the M, and then obviously the speed, which will be miles per hour or kilometers an hour, depending on where you live. So we can come out of that setting. Then we've got the files, press OK. Now this is what I wanted to talk about, this event file. Now the event file, if I press OK, should say nothing in it, which it does. Now in the event, if I press this P button, what it will do is it will take, I don't exactly know how long before or after you press the button, it actually saves the recording. So if you're in an accident, it will put it in the event file, which cannot be overwritten by time. Okay, so it saves it there for you. So if you are in an accident, and if you are in an accident, I think the G-Shock sensor automatically puts it in events. So that's what that does. If we go down to normal, you can see I've got videos there. So if I go up to that one, play that one, you'll now see my ugly mug, which I've already pre-done. Little wave. Okay. Go back out of that. So that was in normal, then down to photos, which I haven't taken any photos. Okay. So if you want to take a photo, you press this P button, I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, again, read the book on that. So that's the files. So that's now, see the camera, ready to get installed. So let's stop messing about with this camera now. Let's turn it off. So press and hold that button. And let's get it installed. Now it's time to fit our little VANTRUE dash cam. So I'm going to be fitting it around here somewhere in the centre. That's where my plans are. It's got to be somewhere on this side of the screen away from the view of driving. I'm going to be running the cable behind here. Okay, but I'm going to take this V-pillar cover off. I'm going to run the cable down there. I'm going to see if I can run it down underneath, down to the bottom. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do this or not, but I want to make it look as neat as possible. So I'm going to take this off first. You can see if I can feed the wire through, but I'm going to have to do the wire backwards and feed it up through first. So let's get on with taking this pillar off and then have a look and see what's behind it. So I believe it's dead easy this, so it's just a matter of, these are two rubber buttons which you can just flick off, trying without damaging them. There's one. And there's two. And then it's a 5mm socket just to undo these two bolts. That's two out. So I need to take the rubber off the door now, which comes off, supposed to be dead easy, which it does. Okay, now I need to just flick this off where the clips are. There's one off, there's two off. Oh, so that was easy. Spiders, cobwebs behind there. So my plan is to follow this cable here and come round here. Okay, so that's my plan. Let's see if I can actually put this into operation. Let's get on with it. So out the back of my van I've got my electrical tester. I'm just going to drop that down there, and then I'm going to tape the wire on so it'll make it easier for me to pull it out. So just a matter of dropping that down there, out at the bottom. It's come, I don't know whether you can see that, but it's come out the bottom. Just going to get some tape I'm going to tape this to this. I just taped it together, and I'm just going to gently pull it back through. Well, that were easy. Now this is a Ford Ranger, 2016 Ford Ranger. So obviously depending on what your vehicle is will depend on how you actually run this. So I've got two 12-volt connectors down in the dashboard here. Used to be what you would call a cigarette lighter. So I'm going to power it off the nearest one to the passenger. So now I'm just going to feed this through. But next thing I need to do is get the camera in position and get the sucker on. So let's do that now. Now the next thing I need to do is get this put in position. So remember, that's the camera facing the actual road, and that's the internal one. So this slides through incredibly easy that way. Okay, now my power cord, whatever I've done with it, that's one end, that's the other. So my power cord actually fits into this end here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in position and then see where it actually finishes up. So I'm hoping that's going to be round about the best place for me. So again, just going to peel this off. This locks in position like that. So let's have a go. Which it has done. And now the camera is fully adjustable now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug it in, get it up and running, and I'm going to see what the picture's like. So let's get that done before I start running all the cables. Now, powered it up. Now the good thing is, for some reason, the Ford Ranger's cigarette lighter is live all the time. So that could be a good thing for me, because I could do the parking thing. So I'm hoping it's going to stay alive, so we'll see. It's got a little live button on it. So that's where I've put it on. I've kind of set it up to that screen, so it looks right now. I'm going to put the wires in, so I'm going to put them over across here, and then going to come down here and then sort them out underneath. So looking good so far. So let's get on with that bit. Now I'm hoping this is in the right position for me. Now I've got a nicked spoon from the Tomcat canteen, because I think if I use a spoon I'll be able to just prise that down like that, and I'll be able to stick the cable using some electrician's tape. Well, that's my plan anyway, so let's see if that works. Now we're going to feed it along here and then down this way. One thing I don't want it doing is dropping down. In fact, I might go and get some cable ties and cable tie it, because it'll be a bit easier. So I'm going to go and get some cable ties. Got some. So I've got a bit of spin in the back of the truck and got some cable ties. So I'm just going to cable tie this up now, which should make it easier, he says. So that's the first one. Snip it off. Ooh, I forgot about my brew. Right, so let's get another one on. You can now push the excess down there, because I'm going to need them down at the bottom. Just going to get one more cable tie there. Let's trim that one off first. Okay, the power's still on as well, so that's a good thing. Right, so all I've got to do now is put this cover back on, and let's get the cables tidied up down there. So let's get that done first and then check it all and make sure it all works. Okay, so I'm just going to run the wires along this here. I'm going to cable tie it to here. So that should make it all nice and neat. And then we're ready for testing and getting up and running. So, as usual, let's get on with it. So, handles back on, all nice and neat, all done down at the bottom. All I got to do now is put all my tools back into the back of the truck, and then let's take it for a spin and let's test this camera out. Got a sweat on now. So I've just turned it on and I'm actually recording from the dash cam. So I'm going to take it, well, I'm going to put the pillow back on, take it for a spin round, and let's see what happens. Okay, so we've got the camera up and running. We're going to take the little beauty for a spin, and then let's see what the footage is like once we get back. Well, so far I've only just come off the car park near work, but the camera is not in my way whatsoever. It's just poking underneath the rear view mirror, so I might have picked a good spot for that. But again, we'll see what the footage is like when we get back. So I'm just going to drive around the block and then let's have a look and see what the footage is like. So also see what the sound's like on the actual dash cam itself. And you also get to see from the dash cam footage the amazing place Ashton-under-Lyne is, how clean and tidy it is. Sorry about the camera wobble it is in my car. Hopefully the dash cam isn't that wobbly. Amazing roads we have in the UK if you're watching this from somewhere else. No, we don't, they're shocking. So we're coming back into the car park now, so we've literally just gone around the block. The dash cam has just gone off now, so it's set. Oh, somebody's parked in my spot. Oh. So the dash cam has gone off. So yeah, it's time for I think 3 minutes, so it doesn't distract you, the screen. Okay, so go back to the centre. Let's get this footage sorted out. Let's get it uploaded. I'm just going to show you how easy it is to get footage off this using the cable. So I'm just going to plug it into my MacBook. It's now asking me as in mass storage and press OK, so I'm going to press OK. So it should now come up onto, which it has done, it's come up into the top screen of my MacBook. So if I double click on there, it's opened up the file. Double click on there, it's gone to normal. Double click on there, and then all the pictures are there. So this is all the footage I've taken while I've been filming, most of it by accident, I may say. So if I click on here, that's the quality we're getting. So I just reviewed it all, and it's amazing. The footage is absolutely amazing on it. Now, a lot of the stuff you see on YouTube, they say about the blacks and the colours being a bit wrong, but the new one is been sorted out and it looks pretty good. So the footage is amazing. So I'm going to get this footage transferred off here onto the film, and you can judge it for yourself. But looks pretty good to me. Well, so far, I've only just come off the car park near work, but The camera is not in my way whatsoever, it's just poking underneath the rear view mirror, so I might have picked a good spot for that. But again, we'll see what the footage is like when we get back. Now, if you've enjoyed this video on the review and installation and test of this VANTRUE N2 Pro dashcam, then why don't you give us a thumbs up or leave a constructive comment down below. If you've not subscribed to our channel, whether you're a gas engineer or not, why don't you subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell, because we put videos up every Wednesday. So, as usual, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, cheers!